right, so we're here with Makita. Makita is fun. I like working with you a lot, Makita, because
Oh, thank you.
I'm watching, you're welcome, because I'm watching you just like shift and develop and become like very introspective and getting more comfortable with opening up and sharing. So I've really enjoyed just watching your transition since we've been working together in coaching. So first, let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
What made you decide to join Captivating Courtship Coaching and just fully commit to that process?
Well, I've actually been following you for quite some time. So I used to listen to your I still do. I listen to the podcasts, just see whatever you post, and then I joined the Facebook group, and I really liked it. Like I liked the content, and I started to learn a lot, especially when I started my divorce process. And then when I listened to the podcasts, I could point out some of my own mistakes in that process, in my marriage, and even in the courtship process when I was getting to know my ex-husband. So I said, oh my gosh, so these are the mistakes I was making in that relationship. And then I think I did a call with you, or I saw one of the emails, and then I saw the cost of the coaching, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'll do this. Yeah, this is going to be too much for me. And then the divorce got really ugly, right? It got really ugly. I had to go hire an attorney. I had to do a lot of things for that divorce, and it was costing me a lot of money. So it hit me. If I don't fix my problems, and then if I don't do something better this time around, if I want to get married again, then it's just going to be more expensive. I thought it's going to be more expensive to go through another divorce, go through another heartbreak. Just the emotional toll it would take on me, instead of just taking coaching and changing myself. So I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and learn something. I learned other things in life. So, and when you say that, it kind of really makes sense to me too, because we learn everything else in life, right? Our schooling, for our job, everything else. But for some reason, we're expected to wing it when it comes to marriage and men. So that's
That's
what made me decide to learn.
Yeah, that's so good. Thank you for pointing that out, especially the aspect of how expensive it is to get divorced, right?
Yeah,
And it's a lot. I've been there, so
yeah,
I understand, it's a lot. And definitely having the clarity going into a situation so that you can make different choices than what you made in the past instead of repeating the same expensive choices, we can call them,
yeah,
of the
very.
future. I think that that's so good to point out. And of course, I'm 100% with you that we invest so much time learning about, going through formal education, learning about all these other areas of our life. But for some reason, when it comes to relationships, we're just supposed to get it. It's supposed to be inherent that we just understand what to
Mhm.
do and how to get it. And it's just
Yes.
not that simple. It's so much more complicated when you're dealing with people and feelings and emotions and situations. So having some clarity going forward and having an idea of who you are, more importantly, really changes the game. So
Yeah.
for you,
So true.
who were you when you first entered? Like, what were some of the things that you were exhibiting when it came to relationships or courtship? What were some of the mindsets? And how have you started seeing yourself transition out of that? Like, what difference have you seen in yourself within the last couple months?
So before coaching, I knew there was something, like I knew it. I knew there was something wrong with the way I was doing things, but I didn't really know what it was exactly. It was more of an intuitive feeling, like I know I'm messing up something. I just don't know what. Because I thought, hey, I'm an awesome person. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I started coaching, and how you have the first module, and it's more psychological, right? It's almost like therapy. So just examining myself, my past, my childhood, all those things really brought to light of my patterns, basically, why I do things, the reasons behind, even though subconsciously I may decide something, but I don't know why. So bringing those things to light really made me understand who I am, and why I do things. Some of the things I, not only the bad things, even the good things. just having that self-awareness has been really amazing. And some of the things I was exhibiting would be, the first one would be anxiety. So let's say I would meet someone I like, not even meet, just see someone I like, even online or whatever, right? I had this incredible anxiety, like, oh my God, I don't want to mess up. Before it even began, I had a lot of anxiety and just a lot of other issues that I don't even want to talk about right now. But coaching has really made me know who I am before I even attach to somebody else. Just knowing myself and just having that self-awareness has been really amazing for me. And now it's been what, like 2 3 months,
Yeah,
and
about
I
three
feel
months.
really good. Yeah. And I feel in this short amount of time, I'm really proud of myself because I feel like I am actually ready for another relationship. And when I say this, usually when you've been out of a divorce or a relationship, and then some time passes, and you tell yourself or you tell family, "Hey, I'm ready. Yeah, sure. I'm just waiting to meet the right guy." You say it, but it's a feeling inside. You either feel like it's going to happen, like you feel like you're ready, or you don't, despite what you say to yourself or to others. And now, even though I've been saying it for the past how many months, I feel ready now. Like it's something inside of me that has shifted. I feel that. So,
That's so good. That's so good.
yeah,
It's definitely a feeling that you get when you
yeah,
realize like you're open to receive and you're in a different space emotionally than you would have been initially. So I think that that's so good. One
yeah,
of the things that I just want to kind of tap into a little bit and talk about is how you're approaching uh, getting to know men a little differently. I've definitely seen some shifts in you where you're actually at least taking the time to step back and be like, wait, how do I feel about this? How do I express this? How do I, is this okay? Is this a boundary? Like you're really starting to evaluate versus the instant reaction
yeah.
and
So
processing the things differently. And even like if you're like, okay, maybe I could have done this differently, but there's more accountability. I see like where, in the beginning you were like, especially with your ex, like, no, he did this, he did this. So now you're kind of pulling back a lot more like, okay, how can I actually approach this situation to get what I want out of it?
exactly, yes. And it's a learning process. I know I'm still learning, but at least, I have taken that step to be honest with myself. I mean, and you guys are so awesome to open up to you guys and just learn from others, and instead of just telling myself, yeah, I'm always right, I'm so awesome. I am awesome, but I'm also a human being. We all have
Right.
moments, but at least being in that position to be open and honest with myself and just learn is a good thing, I think.
So let me ask you, how has it been being in a group setting? Because one of the things I feel like a lot of women are kind of cautious and uncomfortable at first when they go into a group environment. Like, I don't know these other women. I don't want to be judged, especially if you already struggle with the fear of judgment. So how has that been meeting new women, sharing with them, opening up in the group aspect versus maybe if you would have gone into like a one-on-one situation or even just doing things on your own? Like, how has being a part of a group impacted you?
For me, I love being in a group setting. So, and the thing about the other women, I don't know them, so I don't care if they judge me. And I'm making friends in the process. But then, even if they don't know me personally, like they know me in coaching, so it is designed for that. So for
Right.
people to connect for this exact reason. So even if they do judge me, there is no personal connection that I would be afraid of. Oh, she's going to go tell my mom or my other family, my cousins, my friends. That I don't have that fear, so I feel very safe actually. And I'd like to just talk and share with other people, as opposed to just keeping my own thoughts to myself. So
Right.
I love the group setting. That's awesome for me.
And you all have
So
been
what?
really supportive of one
Oh,
another.
thanks. Yeah, I think so. I mean, everybody's so nice.
Yeah, everyone's so nice. You guys all have like the same spirit and energy and just really being supportive and open-minded. So that
Yeah.
makes me really happy. One last thing that I want to touch on, and I want to give you like so much credit on what I love seeing in your growth process, thinking about when we did our original kickoff call to what I'm seeing now is how you have truly learned to start prioritizing yourself. That is such like a big reach for you, because when we first came, that was one of your major struggles, was that like making yourself happy, prioritizing yourself, and creating a habit around that. And now you're like posting pictures at the beach all the time. You're like,
I'm on my way to the beach now.
that's so awesome.
Yeah, because it makes me so happy when I'm back from being by myself. I feel so like I actually miss my baby. I'm just more patient, so I can truly say that I can see why people always emphasize, put yourself first.
Yeah, you've been doing an excellent job at that, and I'm seeing so much growth in that department, where before, even there were a lot of excuses made with like, I just don't have the time, I don't know how to do this, I can't, and now it's like, no, this has become part of your lifestyle. So that's amazing to see that transition in just a short amount of time.
Thank you. I'm so happy.
You're welcome. And just before we go, I do want to say also that I'm giving you a lot of credit, because one of the things, and I would love your feedback and your opinion on this, but one of the things I noticed with you particularly, and I don't always say this stuff out loud in the group or on calls, but one thing that I noticed, definitely one of the benefits of being in the group environment and group setting with you, and there's someone else that I noticed this with as well. But one of the benefits definitely of being in a group environment is when you are noticing what others are doing, it kind of gives you some pep in your step and momentum to follow suit and to keep implementing. So I noticed that there was a time where you kind of slowed down and pulled back from meeting men and kind of putting yourself out there. And then I've noticed recently you started revving it back up again. So I think that that's one of the benefits of being in the group, is that it kind of keeps you on your toes and keeps you active, because you also notice like what other women are doing and they're engaging, and it keeps that momentum, that energy up, versus let's say in the past, probably if you would have been putting out that effort to meet men, and maybe if a situation didn't go well, you probably would have taken a long break instead of consistently showing up and being active.
That's so true. You forget, actually, or you might not be motivated. It just falls back, Time flies so quickly, and then weeks can pass by before you actually do something about it, about it. And yeah, you feed off of each other's energy, so yeah. You go like, oh, what about me? I gotta do this too.
Definitely. That accountability is major. So thank you so much for doing this call, Makita. Is there anything else like that you want to share with people? Would you suggest for them to join, or how it's impacted you? Anything else that you would like to share?
Yeah, just get over the fear and just please do it and change your life, because it's not only about men and relationships, just having that self-awareness. It just brings so much light into your other relationships. Like for me, I have even begun to understand my mother. Like we didn't always have the best relationships, because just having that psychological, almost therapy-like experience and coaching has made me just examine her and her life, and just made me more empathetic towards her. So it's almost like therapy. Even it's not just about men, from my experience at least. So it's always a good thing to invest in yourself and just take that leap of faith. And after this coaching, actually, I want to mention, it's opened up my eyes to coaching. So now I have 3 other coaching programs I've been for different things. So I'm so busy, but I love it, because it's just things that I see that has a positive impact on me and things I love. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, I didn't have any, I kind of know, okay, coaching is a good thing, but then, hey, it's expensive, even though I spend so much money on frivolous things, right? Like food I don't eat that I throw away, clothes I don't wear. I have so much clothes that I don't even, with the tax on, that I haven't worn in, I don't know, in how many months, or never even touched, right? So it's not even about the money. We just have that fear, I don't know, because it's something new, right?
Right.
If you've never done it. But once you do it, it just opens up your eyes. So you'll be a coaching junkie like me.
I'm a coaching junkie too. So I totally understand it. I think that it's because it's usually unfamiliar to us to invest in ourselves in a way, or to have someone else invest in us. So sometimes there's that fear of the exchange, like, well, what if I don't get something out of this? What if I don't get something back?
Yeah,
Or what if
thank
it's
you.
not worth the
Exactly.
investment? Right.
Yeah, what
But
if I'm wasting money? But you don't
right.
realize you waste so much with other things. If you could sit down and actually add up what you waste, it's crazy. Like the amount
I add it up every
kudos
week.
are
So I
yeah.
understand.
Yes. Oh my
And
God.
that's definitely one of the benefits is having someone in your corner, having some clarity on what you need to do. And then what you mentioned, like the transitions and the shifts and how it opens you up to like, wait, if I can have someone else help me fast track this aspect of my life or give me insight so that I can make different decisions, so I can move faster to where I need to go. Like it just opens you up and shifts your energy in a lot of different ways. Like you said, we waste
Yeah.
money so much on frivolous things. It's like, okay, how can I invest this money? Because it really is an investment into
It really
myself so I
is.
can get a better result out of my life. So I love that you pointed that out. Thank you so much for that, Makita. You're
No
absolutely
worries. Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No worries. And just yeah, I wanted to say something. I wanted to share my perspective because I know that I was struggling to actually just sign up and do it because I had a lot of fear. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna, oh, do I have the time? Because am I really paying something that's gonna make sense? There's just a lot of fears.
Right. Right.
So,
Well, I'm so glad you got over the hump. So thank you for
yes,
this call.
no worries. You're welcome.